sure, because that's where we're gonna go and get our communications from. So make sure you document that in Canvas. Okay? In your planning, again, like I said before, in your planning, please make sure when those common planning sessions, please make sure that you have a voice that you're adding to that session. And it's not one of those things where you didn't say anything, but you want to go in your room and do what you want to do because you didn't agree with the plan. All right, if you don't agree with the plan, or you need to add something there, because where it's going to tell on you is when we bring up your grade books and we're comparing grade books and we're doing different things. So I walk in and I'm looking at a lesson plan and it's saying one thing, but then I go next door and we both teaching the same class and I see something completely different. Also in them lesson plans, remember we put in there and indicate the stuff that we're going to put in the grade book. You know, we talked about that. You're going to indicate in your lesson plan what you're going to grade. And that way we don't have a disconnect when I'm teaching two classes. You know, I'm teaching two honor classes where most likely my Val and Sal is going to come from. And I've got parents asking questions, and I don't have two different types of classes going on. If y'all think parents can't get a hold of the grade, listen, Ms. Ingram was in there, had a parent in the conference with me, she had more information than I did. And I told her, you got information that you're not supposed to have. So how do y'all think she got that information?
Inside source.
One of your colleagues gave them to her. I'm sitting there with two different grade books, and she telling me, well, one grade book has this in it, and the other one has this. So how you know that?
She knew the grade name, she knew the assignment that was given, she knew when it was given, and she knew when the teacher graded it, and whether they were in their 5 days or not, putting it in the grade book.
Sure did. And oh, by the way, everything we do, y'all, is public knowledge. Everything we do is public knowledge. Any of us that have children in here, you can go in there and ask anything about your child that you want to. There ain't no secrets.
Class averages.
If I ask you what's your class average, my child Ashley took a test. Well, she didn't do well, I understand that. Well, what was the class average? Well, the class average was a 63. The next question I'm gonna ask you, well, what you gonna do about it? That's the question that they ask you. If she's not getting it, how you gonna make sure that she gets it? What's the answer to that? Well, I've done all in learning. I assess after every class. I see where hold on, let me pull up my all in learning, let me show you. And during our Hawk time, we differentiated this lesson right here. And that's what we're supposed to say. If we're saying something different, as far as Washington County High School is concerned, that's the wrong answer. Okay? Formatively assess. Y'all know how I feel about that. Formatively assess these students so there won't be no surprises, so there won't be no gaps. Let me say continue formally. I know y'all formatively assess. Continue. So there won't be no gaps. So we'll know where they're going. We're not teaching in the dark. So we'll know when Hawk time comes, we'll know what it is that our Hawk time need to consist of. We know who's got it and we know who we need to remediate. And in my mind, if we formatively assess properly before we get that summative, we already know that our class averages, what our class average is going to be. Because I'm looking at data, I'm not just going off the top of my head. Okay? That's just a little, little breakdown of what the standard is. Talks about the domain, which is the instructional delivery. Then it talks about the standard on the teach, which is, this is number 3. And then here's some performance indicators that we look at when we walk in. Teacher engages student in active learning, maintains interest, build upon students' existing knowledge and skills, reinforce learning goals consistently throughout the lesson. When we walk in, this is what we're looking for, or something close to that. You don't see none teacher sitting behind the desk looking at the computer. That's not on there. Teacher sitting on cell phone. That's not on there. All right, and when you go to the rubric, I can click up the rubric. They'll say, this is the expected level of performance right here, 3. Teacher consistently promotes students' learning by using research-based instructional strategy relevant to the content to engage students in active learning and to facilitate the students' acquisition of key skills. That's the rubric. Or we can say they inconsistently or they don't do it at all. Level 4 is when they're doing it and they're teaching others how to do it as well. All right, so we've got 10 of these as far as teachers are concerned. Those are the main components. Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right, then of course you got your feedback section. Sometimes you may have feedback, sometimes you may not. Anytime you have questions or you have concerns about any type of walkthrough that you have concern about, you come see me or you can see your evaluator. All right. Last thing I'm gonna talk about is the changes we made to the framework. I don't think I have a handbook on here. And we'll talk about that. But the change was that you had a choice because on our lesson plans, that's where I can get your warm up, your work session, and your warm up, your opening, your work session. I get that off the lesson plan. What we changed to was the big idea, and then it's in your handbook, and then what was it? The standard.
Big idea, your essential questions.
Your essential questions, your standard,
Learning targets.
Learning targets, which is your I can statements, and then your close. That's all you have to have on the board. That's everybody. That's all you have to have. If you want to continue doing the whole framework, that's up to you. When I come in, I'm looking for this. I was in somebody's class, I took a picture, and I got it on my iPad. And it was just nice. And now this should be fresh because it may stay up. I mean, it could stay up. It'd probably be the same one. It could be the same one for a week, or as long as you're on that. As long as you're on that lesson. Okay. So I can grab your lesson plans, which should be by the door. When I grab your lesson plan, I can see what's going on as far as your teaching. But this part here is the part that just to kind of save you a little time, I want to keep this fresh. So the big idea, the essential question, whatever that standard is, and then the learning targets, I can, and then whatever your ticket out the door. That should be fresh. Only thing you should have to change probably, and ticket out the door can be all in learning. You can put all in learning, or you you know, you can put that, okay? All right. Any questions from, my, CTA department, or my fine arts department, or my PE department? Any questions on that? All right. So our agenda, what we got, Ms. Emma?
Just our department heads and aspiring leaders. Who's ready?
All right, department heads, inspired leaders, Bridge Road and Ashley Andrews classroom for SLPS training. The rest of us, we need to get caught up on our learning goals. We need to get caught up on our signing off on our teats or anything that we talked about this morning as far as if we hadn't signed off on things, if we hadn't input our artifacts, if we hadn't done any of that stuff, we need to use it there, or our grades, because you know, we got to do stuff with our grades, or we got to do stuff in our classroom. We need to get caught up with that this morning. If something happens and we need to call you, we'll call you. If not, then the rest of the morning is yours. From 9 to 10, professional growth artifact support. That's with all paraprofessionals at the board training room. And then 10 to 11, clerical at the boardroom from 10 to 11. All right. Any questions, any concerns? Yes, ma'am.
Can I tell you something?
Absolutely.
I just want to remind everybody, report cards go home a week from today, next Tuesday. I am going to open the grading window all day today in case you had makeup work or whatever you needed to check on over the holidays. It seems just easier to me for you to go in today and be able to make those changes. And then I'll close that this afternoon and print verification sheets. They'll be in your box tomorrow. And then they'll be due back, you know, give you a whole day to check those. But you can make your grade changes today, and then after that, you'll send them to me.
Okay, so when that kid comes and takes his test because he was out for bronchitis or whatever, I'll just send it to you if he doesn't come today?
Yeah. And I'm sure we have several people out. Those probably won't make it, because I need to close that back today and print those sheets. So after that, y'all just have to email me. Okay?
Any questions? And as far as the getting your grades in, we do not have an issue. This is the only time that we have an issue, is when we wait till the last minute and put grades in. And I've said this for 10 years, I know, standing in front of y'all. You wait till the last minute and put grades in, you're gonna have an issue. Especially when that grade that you put in causes the average to drop. Now, if it causes the average to go up, you probably won't have too much of a complaint. But like me, if I'm looking at my child's parent portal, which I do, and I do see sometimes, you know, I see the same thing, grades put in, and it'll give you a date when the grades are put in and all of that kind of stuff. Whereas a parent, as long as her grade going up, girl, I see he finally put that test in. Man, did you know your grade jumped? Grade go down, Miss So-and-so, I was tracking these grades. Why is her grades going down? Why are you waiting so long to put these in there? If you'd have put these in there on time, I'd have had time to make sure that she would have got this up. So it's not the grade. It's the time that is giving parents to turn around, the turnaround time to make it better. So it's not, so let's stick to that window. If we get those grades in, we've got them in the lesson plan, you got parents looking at that 5-day window. You got them looking at it. So let's make sure that we adhere to that, because they know it. They walking in with handbooks open, and I can't. Y'all know how y'all get when I have to come to y'all for questions. We get upset. So make it so that we don't have to come to y'all for questions. Because when they come ask me, I can't answer something for weight training. I gotta ask the weight training folks. Okay? So if you go ahead where you're supposed to be and